Hello dear students, this is continuation on our course philosophy. Since in the last class we stopped at scope of philosophy where we actually looked at philosophy as the search for ideal life. Starting from today's lesson, we shall be looking at philosophy as a concern with human existence. The existence of man is something that is being determined by the creator of lives, which is God, the Almighty. But when you look at it from a philosophy perspective, you'll be looking at it that a philosophy in relation to human existence, it is talking about the existence of man precedes the essence of life. This means that man exists before trying to discover the essence of life, nature, and the world around him. Everybody today, we can't be walking from one place to another. Our existence has been in place before we start looking for the essence of life. If somebody is having it in mind that I want to become this and that, to become this and that, you have to take cognizance of the fact that in philosophy, your existence is being predetermined before your essence in life, meaning that whatever you want to become in life has been predetermined by God. But when you look at it from philosophy perspective, you will now see that a man who is a learned person, a woman who is not learned, it is most likely that that child will take either from the father or from the mother. That is why when it comes to chromosomes, you observe that man as a whole forms the life of a child, because whatever that is coming from that man to the woman determines if the child will become a male or a female. So what philosophy wants to prove to us here is that what you want to be in life is not what you should be fighting for. Rather, the essence of being in life is being determined by our father and our mother. And that is why philosophy is proving to you that existence precedes essence. So it means that whatever I want to become in life has been fashioned by God through your father and your mother. And if you say somebody is brilliant today, that brilliant child is not taking it from either his own self. Rather, the child is taking it from either the father or the mother. So, in that sense, it means automatically that in philosophy, whatever you want to become is not the matter of what you are today, but rather what has been in existence from your father and your mother before your own creation. And number 6 among the scopes of philosophy is that philosophy has the formulation of metaphysical systems of cosmologies. Philosophy has the formulation of metaphysical systems of cosmologies. This talks about the relationship that exists between man and his state of being. Between man and his state of being. So when you look at philosophy under this realm, it is talking about a man as a whole and the environment that a man lives, meaning that the metaphysical system of cosmology, talking about the environment, meaning the environment can shape and can reshape the value and the system life of a man. So it means that when you look at relationship between man and its environment, environment has a positive and a negative effect on man, and that is being proven by philosophy. So it means that if somebody is smoking today, don't look at that person as a smoker, or rather you look at the environment where the person lives before you say this person is an addict smoker. And if somebody seems to be holier, his level of holiness is not determined by himself, rather the environment circumcise the holiness of that person. So that is why in philosophy, philosophy made it clear that the formulation of metaphysical system of cosmologies exists between man and the state of being of a human. And we need to know that when it comes to philosophy, we also have what is called branches of philosophy. Philosophy has many branches, among which we shall be looking at it from the first one, the metaphysics. The metaphysics aspect of philosophy is an aspect of philosophy that goes beyond physical realm. Rather, it is experienced through spiritual aspect of life. Example is if someone says, I am feeling the presence of God. Mind you, this does not mean that he or she is seeing God. Rather, he or she feels God's doing in his or her life. When you feel the presence of something in your life, it is called metaphysics. But you may not see the something by your physical eye, but you experience such through the spiritual aspect, and that aspect is called metaphysics. So if somebody is saying, I am feeling the presence of God in my life, that is a metaphysical statement in philosophy. And when you look at under this, the metaphysics aspect of philosophy has two aspects. The first one is cosmology. Under cosmology, it deals with the physical visible universe, that is, the study of the universe as a whole. And under this, we have some people who are into the study of the universe, the astronologists, and many of them. So they study the universe, how the night becomes the day, how the day will turn to become the night. So they study the cosmology of life, and that person can predict what can happen tomorrow philosophically. And that's why when you listen to news almost every night, you see that the weather of tomorrow is being predicted. There would be rain tomorrow, there would be this and that. It is under cosmology. And the other one is under ontology. Ontology deals with the study of being and existence, meaning under this, the study of the mind, the soul, the heart, and life are looked into under ontology. So when someone is looking into the study of the mind or the soul or the heart or life, all this falls under ontology. So when you look at all this, invariably it means that metaphysics, the cosmology, is looking at what cannot be actually seen but can be predicted, while ontology talks about what can be felt, what can be seen, what can sometimes be touched, and it also predicts what can happen to that person. And all this is what you have under medicine. So all operations, formulations, practices under medicines are under ontology. So apart from the metaphysics aspect of philosophy, we also have another branch of philosophy called epistemology. Epistemology is a branch of philosophy that talks about the theory of knowledge. Also, it also probes into the general reliability, the scope, the validity of knowledge. And knowledge as a whole is something that needs to be understood. And the only way you can understand knowledge is under epistemology, being a branch among the branches of philosophy. Then the epistemology that looks into the reliability, the scope, the validity of knowledge has some questions like, is knowledge real? How can we measure knowledge? Is knowledge acquired through human or being an ordained or a natural knowledge? That is why under the epistemology, knowledge is being divided into 5 under epistemology. The first one is called revealed knowledge. This is the kind of knowledge acquired through dreams, vision, and meditation. Under the revealed knowledge, we are talking about knowledge acquired through dreams, meaning there are some levels of knowledge that you receive not directly from any other person, but rather through your dream. How can you acquire knowledge through dream? It could be you sleeping or you walking, then such knowledge will come to you directly. That knowledge is called revealed knowledge. Also, it could come through your vision, what you are planning to achieve in the future. As you are planning to achieve that in the future, that knowledge of how can you go about what you want to achieve in the future, it is under revealed knowledge and through meditation. These 3 aspects that falls under revealed knowledge, it is characterized by an ordained knowledge, and it is not given to ordinary person. Rather, it is being ascribed to prophet of God and people that are into spirituality. So they have this knowledge called revealed knowledge, and such knowledge is somehow rare in the general society, but it's being given to some selected people rather. And according to research, God don't normally give this kind of knowledge to people on a platter of gold. Rather, it is a kind of knowledge that's been given to selected few among many. Then you have something called reasoning and rational knowledge. The reasoning and rational knowledge involves the process of logical reasoning and deductions that follow premises, assumptions, and hypotheses that comes to one's mind after a long period of consciously searching for the correct information. Sometimes it could be solution to what? To a problem that has been bothering the mind for quite some time. Under this reasoning and rational knowledge, meaning you have been looking for a solution to either to a problem or problems or challenges, then such problem or solution will not come directly, but you can only have solution to solve challenge or problem through reasoning and through mind tasking, by tasking your brain, tasking your mind. When you task your brain, your mind more and more and further, you would be able to have a particular answer, solution to such a problem. So when you have all this, it is under reasoning and rational knowledge. Then another one under epistemology is empirical or scientific knowledge. The empirical or scientific knowledge is a research-based knowledge. That is why it is a practical knowledge derived from human five senses, like the hearing, the seeing, the feeling, the smelling, and tasting. So when you say empirical or scientific knowledge, you can derive such knowledge through your hearing, seeing, feeling, smelling, and tasting. Example, what you are hearing from this course through this medium is under empirical. It is scientific. Whatever you can see on your screen through this medium is under scientific and empirical knowledge. And if somebody punches you, if you can feel the pain, it is under empirical. Or a odor bursts into your environment, your vicinity. If you can perceive the odor rightly, that is under empirical. And while cooking something, you test your cook through your taste bug. If you can perceive either too salty or not too salty, having salt, it is under, or it is categorized under empirical or scientific knowledge. Then another one under that is what is called authority or authoritative knowledge. This is the kind of knowledge that is accepted on the basis that it comes from the authority. This knowledge is being viewed as a dogma, meaning your tutor is giving you a knowledge, and that knowledge is not known to you at the beginning. At the beginning, all you need to do for you to have such knowledge coming to you directly is to accept that knowledge at that particular time. If you do not accept such knowledge, you may not have access to another knowledge. And when you have access to that knowledge and you accept the knowledge wholeheartedly without any query, without any inquisitive mind, such knowledge is called dogmatism, and it is under authoritative knowledge. Why? Because you are accepting the knowledge from the person, being that the person is an authority on that knowledge, and you are receiving such knowledge, you are a novice to such knowledge. So all you could do is to accept so that you can learn more. So it means that every knowledge that we know from the beginning falls under dogmatism. And dogmatism is accepting what you don't know under pretense that you have understood the knowledge. So you need to know every knowledge falls under dogmatism. If you don't accept dogma, you will not learn. Right from your childhood, you have been told 1 plus 1 is 2. It is a dogma knowledge. It's a dogma knowledge. If you are being called Shade, Rose, that one and this one, you accept the name, you answer the name. It is dogma because you were alive when you were named, but you only answer to the name because somebody told you that is your name. But you can decide to say that's not your name, but you have accepted that as a dogma. So you have to believe that. If you don't believe dogma, you can't learn. So the last one under the branches of philosophy that falls under epistemology is intuitive knowledge. Intuitive knowledge is an insight knowledge that suddenly comes to one's mind after a long period of consciously searching for the correct information or solution to a problem that has been disturbing the mind for quite long time. So intuitive is an inborn or inbuilt knowledge, but you have been looking for the solution. The solution has not been derived, but somehow, someday, sometime, somebody is giving you answer to that knowledge. What will come at the end of that will now be, oh, so this is the right answer to this. That is called intuitive knowledge. It means that you have the original knowledge with you. Somebody is just facilitating the knowledge into your memory, and through your long-term memory you will be able to recall such knowledge back to present real life.